Hey everybody, Hans with H&H. Today we have California White Seabass. This is my favorite fish, period. I actually have a tattoo on my arm. My son is named Sebastian, aka Seabass. That's actually a purpose. It is one of my favorite fish. It's actually an obsession of mine, actually diving for them in the kelp beds off California coast. And they're caught in a few different ways. One of them's hook and line. That's how these fish were caught. The other way is gill net. I usually just sell hook and line fish to the public. It's an incredible fish. It was almost extinct for a while there. After the seiners stopped being able to catch sardines out of the Monterey Bay and up and down the coast in the early 50s, they started fishing hard for these things, and they're super abundant. And they almost completely wiped them out. They were almost gone. They were really rare, even when I was a kid. Due to grow out programs, grow out pins that Scripps Institute did down in San Diego, they say that's one of the things that brought it back. They raised thousands of juvenile fish, let them go. And over the last few years, it's just been more and more and more and more abundant. They're just incredible. Big schools of these beautiful fish up and down the coast. It's become back into a repertoire of great California fish that we can eat and enjoy. It's an incredible white meat fish. Really beautiful. I'll be cutting it up in a second. We can show you that. I usually leave the skin on, scales off. So it's really great for barbecue. It's insane. This makes really great raw fish. So crudo is, one of the main fish everybody's talking about. That just means raw in Italian, but it makes a great crudo. You can make poke out of it. You can make ceviche out of it. It's just a really versatile white fish. Great tacos, great all kinds of things. Most all the fish is edible. I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting this thing up, and I'll show you guys the beauty inside. So when I fillet, we cut here. I usually take right here. The white ghost is another name for this fish. When we dive for them, they're like ghosts in the kelp beds. You won't see them and all of a sudden they show up. Right to the backbone. Sea bass are one of the fish that has a raised backbone, so you kind of have to do two cuts. So do a little shear cut right here for when this is a trick. Put your finger right here, and then you have a handle. I cut over the back ribs right here, then right out there. Voila. So with this fish, beautiful white meat fish. That the blood meat comes all the way through here. That's what makes it a hard fighter, is that they actually do have some red meat in them, makes them ours. Everything in this fish is edible. So then this fish is actually a male. You got these little brown things right here. This is a mussel right here, and the fish has a swim bladder, and when these mussels rub on the swim bladder, it makes an incredible croaking noise. When you're underwater, it sounds just like a bullfrog. Kind of reverberates. If they're really close and you can't see them, it reverberates through your whole body. It's a crazy sound. And it gets your blood pumping, because you know that they're close when you hear that. But it's really, sometimes I'll get into a kelp bed and there's just, you can hear them everywhere, but you won't see them. That's another part of being a white ghost. The Japanese name for them is the fish with bone, with ears. So they actually have an ear bone. This is another really good part to eat right here. This is the kama or collar. We usually sell these too, or you come into the shop, pick them up. Super good eating. That's got the fattier parts of the fish right on the barbecue, and then this become like your ribs of the fish world. Really good eating. cut there to the ribs. Come on. This belly on the bigger fish, if you trim this off from the other side of the skin, you end up with the best piece of sashimi. A lot of people don't realize that this is the best part of the fish. So you actually take the skin off, and then you take the stomach membrane off. It can be a little tricky sometimes. But this right here, if you look at it, it's one of the fattier parts of the fish. It's incredible. Makes a really nice sashimi or crudo. Super good. I'm going to show you guys a trick for getting the ear bones out. I have an abalone shell where I've been saving the ear bones from the fish that I've speared and caught over the years, and I almost have a full 7-inch abalone full of ear bones. Spine continues. There's this big lump right up in here. That's the bone that contains the ear bones. It's a little tricky. I advise not cutting yourself. Easy way to cut yourself. I've done it before. But kind of pair of shears, like gardening shears, helps to get this. But you break into this little sack right here. So this, right, you got it right here, is what makes the fish here. And they're not even like bone. They're more like porcelain or glass. Lucky stones, the Italians used to call them. Makes them hear really well, and they also make a lot of noise. They're just a really different fish in the croaker family. Great comeback story for the California coast. All edible, the bellies, the collars. You get to get fun stones out of the backbone's really thick, makes a really good stock. One of the better fish to use is seafood stock. Inside of it, there's a little roll of gelatin in each one of these things. Heads can be cooked down. Really use a lot of it, so it's my favorite fish. California white sea bass. The ghost, as it's known. All right, everybody, thank you.